Hello, and welcome to this week's episode of TawannaSpeaksTV. Hi everyone, I'm your host, Tawanna Kelly, your fear-busting advancement coach. Welcome to this week's episode of TawannaSpeaksTV. Here on TawannaSpeaksTV, we come to you every week with a new topic that helps you to discover and uncover those fears and barriers that are holding you hostage, that are keeping you from achieving the success that you so richly deserve. So today's episode is going to zero in on you choose to be great. That's right. That's right. Being great is a choice. You choose to be great. And you may say to yourself, Tawanna, what do you mean? Of course people are going to choose to be great. But think about that. Subconsciously, or consciously, I should say, you may say to yourself consciously, yeah, I'm going to be great. I'm going to be great. I'm going to be great. But what are you doing subconsciously when you're not even thinking about it? Do your actions actually match up to what you're saying outwardly? Your greatness is a choice. Whether you realize it or not, your greatness is a choice. Think about it. Those times when you were in school and you had a term paper due and you spent 2 weeks blowing it off, and all of a sudden, the day before, you're cramming the library trying to get that term paper done, and it comes back and it's a B minus. If you had just given it much more effort, you would have gotten an A. So your choice to blow off that term paper for 2 weeks and cram the night before was your choice to not be great. All right? So when you think about that, everything you do, that's a choice you're making, whether it's consciously or unconsciously. Okay? Now think about when you're at work. All right? When you're at work and you have this project due. But instead of working on the project, you're in your break room. You're chopping it up with coworkers. Or you're working on something else that's not related to the project that's due next week. And then, when the week is up and the project is due the next day, you're cramming getting it done. And in your mind, you're convincing yourself this is okay because you're saying to yourself and you've convinced yourself, I work better under pressure. For many of us, that becomes habit. That's not really how we function normally. We've just made it a habit of waiting to the last minute where it's crunch time and then we try to make it work. Do you think that the project would have been better if you had spent the week and a half that you had to work on it before handing it in? That extra time going over it, making sure your I's were dotted and your T's were crossed? Do you think that if you spent that time, instead of chopping it up in the break room, that project would have been better? Sure, you may have sent it off and it was okay. It may have been okay. I'm not saying I'm not saying it was a fail. I'm not saying it wasn't good. But if you put that extra effort, the extra time, it would have been great. Do you see what I'm getting at? You choose whether or not you're going to be great. So I want you today from this moment forward, I want you to look at every single choice that you make. Every single choice that you make. And I want you to decide, am I going to just be okay, turning in good work? The work will be good. Or do I want to put this effort in and make this great? Am I going to go in the break room and chop it up with my coworkers? Or am I going to spend time getting this project together so that when it's due, I know it's great? If I'm in school and I got this term paper due in 2 weeks, am I going to wait the night before to cram and get it done? Those are behaviors that people who don't want to be great exhibit. So which are you? What were your behaviors? What are your behaviors going to say about you? I want to thank you so much for taking the time out of your schedules to view another episode of Tawanna Speaks TV. So tune in next week where we have another topic to talk about. And until then, stay fearless.